In this video, I'm going to share with you 6 really bad habits that are keeping you hard stuck in Rocket League, and at the very end, I'll share a bonus habit. The first habit is going to be not warming up. A lot of players will just go into ranked with no warm up. They'll just launch up the game and go into ranked, and that's bad for a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons is going to be because you're very inconsistent when you're not warm. You're going into the game, your fingers might be cold, you can't move as fast, you aren't thinking of the game, you're not warmed up, and so you're as inconsistent as you can be. And so the way to fix that is just doing the warm-up routine I have posted or anyone has posted. Just make sure you're warming up, because if you play when you're warm, it's so much easier to gauge your skill and how good you are, and you can gauge your improvement, you can gauge how you're improving, you can gauge which ways to improve, which ways you can't. It's just so helpful to know your baseline instead of your baseline jumping around all the time. Number 2 is going to be rotating ball side. So a lot of times people will rotate ball side and cut off their teammate, and while inherently it's not that bad if you jump in front of the ball and cut off the play, it can be bad if you cut off your teammate, because what you're essentially telling your teammate is, I'm going to be cutting you off all game. And so it's going to change the way they play. They're going to be playing super passively and kind of just expecting you to ball chase and just wait on you to mess up. And so what's going to happen is, they're not going to be middle for you. They're not going to be passing you the ball. They're not going to be expecting you to pass the ball. They're just going to expect everything you do to go worst case scenario. So they're not going to be in the play. And that's going to make the game a lot harder, because once you get into the higher ranks like GC2, GC3, even SSL, you're not going to be able to score very easily without your teammate. Scoring a solo play in high ranks is very, very difficult. Number 3, grabbing boost and leaving the play. So for example, you'll see a lot of times people will be at 20, 30, even 40 boost. They'll leave the play and then go for a big boost and then come back to the play, and they use the boost they got from the big boost to boost back into the play, and they're the same amount of boost that they were before they even left the play. And you can always use pads around you. A lot of people think you always need to grab the big boosts. Each pad gives you 12 boosts. This brings me to number 4, flipping through the field on defense. You'll see sometimes people will speed flip through the pitch when they're on defense, when someone has an attack towards them, and that's a really bad play, because when you flip, you can't change your direction, and it's a really bad habit to flip. I've been caught doing this many times. In the higher ranks, people will take advantage of anything, and sometimes when you flip, there's an open gap in your defense or there's holes. Number 5 is going to be giving away possession. This is probably the most difficult habit to break, and honestly, even SSLs do this, even at the highest rank. It's very difficult to not give away possession the higher ranked you get, because the higher ranked you get, the better fake challenges get, the better defense gets, the better pressure gets. So it's way easier to mess up and give the ball away. But if once you realize that possession is what wins games and what gets goals, then you will be better than everyone in your rank. Number 6 is going to be blaming your teammates. A lot of lower ranks, usually Grand Champ 1 or lower, will sit here and say, oh, the reason I'm in this rank is for my teammate. Well, do you think if I put a pro in your game that they would lose? No, they wouldn't. It's because it's not their teammate. The whole point of ranking up is to prove to the ranked system that you're better than everyone. That's what ranking up is you're better than people in this rank, so they're going to promote you to the next rank. But if you're staying in the same rank, that means that you're not good enough to carry your teammate to the win. You're not good enough to actually win the games, therefore you should be in that rank. So what I'd recommend is watch your replays, analyze every single mistake, have analysis paralysis, and look at every single thing. And then once you understand the mistakes you're making, actively think about these mistakes when you queue for your next comp game, and actively work on not making those same mistakes. And number 7, the bonus tip I'm going to give you guys, playing for too long. The more you play, the lower the quality of each game gets, because there's so much to think about, especially the higher rank you get, but even in the low ranks, you still need to be thinking about rotating. You still need to be thinking about the mistakes I was talking about earlier. There's so much to think about. I just think you should limit each session to 2 hours at the most. There's people that can play for 7, 8 hours, and part of it is genetic, if I'm being honest. Part of it is being able to stay focused for that long. You'll notice that when you play for that long, it's almost impossible to be as fresh as you were at the end at the session that you were at the beginning of the session. And that's because your mind is fresh. That's all I have in this video. If this video was helpful at all, please be sure to like and subscribe. I also have a Discord server where I help you guys out. You guys can send me clips. I'll tell you guys where you can improve. I just talk to you guys daily over there. If you want to join, the link is in the description of this video. See you on the next one. Peace.